Welcome back to the Kick and Post YouTube channel and podcast. It's your host, Jamal Thompson, and I'm back with Chris Perry. How you doing, sir?
We're back.
We're back.
That's all we need to say. Season's back. I think preseason's going on right now. Cincy, Philly is going on.
Cincy, Philly, Ravens, Indianapolis, and then we got Seahawks, Raiders tonight. But we're here to give you guys some great value.
You are.
There's some guys who are undervalued in the fantasy game, some buy lows, guys who have the potential to be productive, guys who've already shown the ability to be productive, but are going way below what we project their scoring to be for the year. So let's hop right into it.
Yeah.
Mark Andrews.
The boy.
Mark Andrews. Sometimes it's simple, right? I know everybody was anointing Isaiah Likely as the new tight end for Lamar Jackson going into this year, but off-season injuries, you hate to see it. But if you're a Mark Andrews owner or a guy looking to acquire a tight end when you have a roster that's ready to win, Mark Andrews is your guy. I feel like we've overcorrected as a market when it comes to tight end drafting and believing that Mark Andrews, who's been the safety blanket for Lamar Jackson, is just going to stop being that after a couple rough games, right? If we look at both tight ends, especially throughout the season last year, Mark Andrews was able to readjust after the first 5 weeks of the season and find his rhythm with Lamar again. They added D-Hop. They still have Zay. They still have Rashad Bateman. The wide receiver room didn't get that much better. And then again, Likely missing the entire offseason and coming back from a foot injury, a broken foot at that. Probably not ready for week one. I think being able to draft Mark Andrews at the ADP that he is currently at is a hell of a discount for a guy that we've seen put up top 5 tight end numbers consistently in his career. What says you, Chris?
I don't want to say you're wrong. I think a lot of people got a sour taste from Andrews throughout last year, and the cherry on top was the playoff performance that we all know. But what helps me lean in your direction is how everyone has spoke about Mark, even despite everything that happened last year. Lamar Jackson was the first one to bring him up. Nothing's changed. Same with the coaching. All support him, all reiterating he's still that guy. He's still a high-level player. I know there was trade rumors last year, even just after everything. They shut all that down. So it's not like they don't see his worth. I think that's the biggest piece in all of this, especially with Likely missing some time, is that he's still a key player in that offense. Regardless of how they run things, he's going to get plays engineered for him throughout the game that makes him a viable asset. Then when you take Likely out the picture, it's just a bigger piece of the pie for him to fight, especially early on, bringing that momentum carried towards the end of the year. And like you said, it's a no-brainer, especially with this price right now and the narrative around it. It's like, what are you really paying to get the value that he's going to provide for you, you know?
I really think you can't lose, especially where he's going. You have him going behind guys like, the last time I checked it was Travis Kelce, but that's kind of realigned now. You got obviously the Trey McBrides, but in terms of efficiency on offense, Trey McBride does get the volume, but you will have a higher chance of touchdown tight end production with Andrews. It's a better offense over there in Baltimore, right? And the price is 4 rounds later. And you know how I feel about the tight end position already. I'm not a guy who's going to invest very high unless you're getting like a Brock Bowers type of
Brock Bowers,
volume.
Period. That's it.
Yeah, Brock Bowers. I mean, you could sprinkle a little bit of Trey in there. He gets a lot of that volume as well, but you after that, I think you're just taking a guess at who could be the guy for you, and I'll guess a little bit more confidently with Mark Andrews at the price tag that he's at.
I agree, and especially I feel that Dynasty has taken a turn to where tight end was more of like a benefit. Like if you had a Kelce that was OP, or if you had Sam Laporta the year he took off, or even with Brock Bowers, it's like you had a significant edge over the rest of the league, to where I feel like it's now you can wait later rounds with the values from like a Mark Andrews or from another tight end, because unless you're getting that Brock Bowers, Trey McBride at that price, then what's in between isn't really worth the reach, especially when you see the value at other positions. And like I know even I fall into the trap of, I've drafted this many running backs, this many receivers, quarterback, now it's time for a tight end. But now I'm like, if I can scoop one later on, just stack more value, like get more depth. at other positions and then worry about that later. So especially with Andrews, he's that piece. If I can get him for a round later and bulk up in RB, receiver, even a second or third quarterback, depending on your league, you might want to gamble on your second, have a safety net for your third. By all means, Andrews achieves that for you with value. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is it my turn now for the craziness? Okay.
Yeah, fire up.
I know I'm gonna turn a lot of people off. Just stay with me. Just listen. But the name is Michael. Last name is Penix. And I know a lot of people were a little wary of him coming to Atlanta at first with the Kirk Cousins situation. But ever since he took over last year, I mean, it's clear as day to me. He's next man up. I don't know about you, Amal, but in that offense, it's just too simple. Like, I don't have much to say. Just look at the running back position, look at the receiving core he's throwing to, look at the defense he's playing with, look at what the team has done to help him succeed at this point, and even the capital they invested in him that proves how much they believe in him. So, I mean, it's really a no-brainer. I think Michael Penix is only going up from here. I think the lowest you can get Penix before he takes a snap in the NFL again, because despite what he did last year, people aren't really sold on him. But I want to say, don't quote me on this, but Drake London looked pretty good when he was under center. That's all I gotta say. So that was a very short stint, but imagine a whole year of that in a weaker conference. Yeah, we're good.
I do like the Penix draft, especially if you're in a league that still does single quarterback. One of my longest tenured leagues that I do redraft won't transition to Superflex. And in a case like that, I'm okay waiting round 15, round 16, taking a Penix, or you know, a guy I like in Penix too, in terms of just what's surrounding him, and they're obviously completely different players, is Tua, right? All the pieces are there, I feel like. You have a very solidified running game, A-Chain to Bijan. Obviously, I think Bijan's more talented, but both guys very useful at the backfield, catching passes, explosive running backs, right? Then you look at wide receiver help, Drake London, Tyreek Hill, Waddle, Darnell Mooney on the other side, of course, right? So those guys are able to utilize the pieces around them. And now if you go to the tight end position, I feel like they could unlock Kyle Pitts. Maybe they'll be able to utilize him like Darren Waller will be utilized potentially in Miami, right? So I feel like there are very similar setups on offense for both guys, that you're really banking on the weapons a little bit more than you're banking on the QB. You just are asking the lefty quarterback to be accurate and getting the ball out in both cases. And you're able to get him way later in the draft, which you have guys investing in, no offense, say a Geno Smith ahead of him sometimes, and you're looking at a lack of weapons there, in my opinion. If I'm going Jacoby Myers, Dante Thornton, and Brock Bowers, I'll take the other, trio of skill position players over those three, right? So yeah, I'm comfortable with the Penix late. I feel like unless you're getting a guy who has elite rushing upside, you shouldn't really be settling for one of those pocket passers in those middle ranges, right? You got to find the guys who are affordable and have the pieces around them. There's guys that I was high on previously that I'm kind of dialing it back on. But I'll buy in on the Michael Penix hype for
like
sure.
you said, the system sells, and it's really just up to them and the OCs just to dumb it down, make it simple, get your playmakers in space. And like as we can see with the Dolphins, they know how to do that. We've seen Tua be a top QB in this league, especially in fantasy, for either short periods, long periods. Like,
fantasy for sure.
He puts up points.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Penix can do the same, in my opinion, but he also has a better arm. He's more athletic. We saw a little bit of Penix running towards the back end of the year, too, which got me really excited. I'm not banking on that all year, but it just shows what the possibilities are. They really are endless, especially in Atlanta. I think people are ready for that, but like they have a lot of young pieces, not only on the offense, but also on the defense. So it could be fun in Atlanta, but we'll see. They got to put it together. So I know you mentioned my second buy low, and I know y'all going to hate me for this too, but it's Kyle Pitts.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Need you guys to sit down, bear with me, go ahead, get the groans out. But the only reason you don't like Kyle Pitts is due to him being a disappointment. Now let's break that down. Why was he a disappointment the last couple of years? He was due to injury. He got banged up. He did regress due to the offense, different coaches, different quarterbacks. But then when you look at the quarterbacks, who was he working with? Desmond Ridder? What, Heineke? Who else before that? Like, a bunch of nobodies. No offense. They're pro-level players, but they're not legitimate starters that can go to another team and actually start. Like, they're all backups. And clear as day, we're aware of that. So, when Penix finally gets a quarterback, I think that's what we expected last year, and that's why all the hype was like, oh yeah, Penix is back, he's gonna have a good year, he has Kirk Cousins, but Kirk Cousins was a shell of himself. Very disappointing. But then we put that on Penix. Well, not Penix, we put that on Pitts, but granted, now we have Penix, and Penix has gone out of his way to say we're getting him involved, he's gonna be one of our top targets, we're focusing on him on offense, and he actually has the tools to back it up. So when I hear that from the quarterback, and I see what Pitts did his rookie year, which he had the best tight end rookie year of all time at the time, putting that out there too. He actually has a quarterback and a competent OC that's willing to transition from run first to a more balanced passing offense. The value's there. You're not paying that. We used to draft Pitts in like early second round here. Like, it got crazy. Like, before Brock Bowers is going right now, Pitts was getting drafted. So, not saying the talent's evaporated, not saying the talent's the same. I'm saying the opportunity is different, and sky is the limit. So, I'm back on Pitts.
At the price point, I can't be too mad.
Can't.
Again, if I'm gonna preach that, I'm willing to take stabs at the tight ends in the later rounds. I can't be out on a guy like Pitts. What I will say is, if you do take a Pitts, leverage that pick with another tight end in the back end.
Oh, you definitely have a backup plan for sure.
You definitely don't want to go
100%.
straight Pitts and then nobody else. Protect yourself in that case. Maybe you take like a Freiermuth or a Jonnu Smith if they're back there still.
Hey, I like Chig too. That's another video.
Does like
but
Chig.
Chig's gonna be good this year.
Maybe you leverage like Evan Ingram out there in Denver. That offense is still looking for somewhat of a possession receiver type outside of Courtland Sutton. So, it's not sexy picks if we're looking at this back end of the tight end projections, but do not stay with just Pitts and take that into the season. Just a little insurance.
Or live your life. Pitts. That's all you need. No other tight end.
A little insurance policy is all I'm saying. As I will say, with this player that I'm going to bring up as my buy low, you will want an insurance policy with this guy as well. But this is, I'm trying to give you essentially, a Mega Million ticket, right? This is what this is for this buy low. You have a guy who has shown the ability to be productive in the NFL. We talk about injuries. He's dealt with a lot of those.
That's valid.
He's dealt with a lot of injuries, but when he's been healthy, he's been quite the weapon on the field. A little bit inefficient in the red zone, I will admit. But I watched the OC of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers utilize his running backs in a very efficient way last year. And then he became the head coach of the Jaguars. Now, everything coming out of camp is that Etienne looks amazing, right? Depth chart is having him as RB1, which doesn't mean too much. Depth chart at the beginning of last year had Rachaad White as RB1 in Tampa. We saw how that shifted eventually. But based on the talent and how I see the offense improving this year, if Etienne is able to stay healthy the first 5 weeks of the season and show shades of who he was, the price point you were able to get Etienne at is going to pay huge dividends. Whether you're planning to move him halfway through the season because you believe by the back end of the season this will be a Bigsby backfield or a Tootin backfield, or even to get even crazier, right? Allen out of Syracuse backfield. Like, if you feel like he's going to lose the job, the price point you're paying for Etienne compared to the price point you had to pay for Etienne last year, he has the greatest drop off in ADP that we've done on this video so far, right? You're talking 8th, 9th, 10th round pick now for Etienne when you couldn't get him post 3rd round last year. So if we believe in the talent and we think he could be healthy, and we believe the offense is going to be better, why not take a stab at a guy, first round draft capital as a running back? Granted, this is not the regime that did it, but they did not move him in the offseason, which was everything that everybody was talking about. He's seeming to start the season in at minimum a 50-50 backfield. And if you ask me who's more talented as a Jaguars fan watching both players play, I'm taking Etienne as the more talented back over Bixby. So, at the price point, at the investment level, I'm okay loading up on Etienne on the back half of the draft. Because do I want Etienne or do I want Darnell Mooney? Because that's the same range that these guys are going. And I love Darnell Mooney.
Really?
I'm almost certain.
That's actually disrespectful.
I'm almost certain. I did
ADPs yet.
I did a mock draft. I have to do a few more. You know, I got to get in the rhythm. We've been out of this for a little bit, but we're talking again 9th round, 10th round potentially for ETN in Superflex leagues.
That's crazy.
That's really far down. That's really far down. And I'm granted, I understand why, but nobody really knows what to expect out of him going into the season. So that's something we got to be aware of as well.
Yeah, but at the same time, I fall with this issue as well, but the bias, because you know how I feel about Etienne. And you're a Jags fan, so of course you're going to have positivity everywhere, but he did fall into the same trap as Pitts. Like you said, just injury with bad O-line play, bad quarterback play, just bad calling all around, so it's really hard to pinpoint where the issues arose. But with us feeling a certain type of way about Pitts, about Etienne, of course, everything else is a problem but the player. So I'm with you. I agree 100%. Just play devil's advocate. There's a lot of things that go into it. Are the Jags better overall as an offense this year? Probably. Is the offensive line better this year? You could answer that better than I can. I have no idea.
It's kind of right?
Exactly. So
Travis Etienne is currently going as running back 32 off the board in most.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah, you got guys like Tyrone Tracy going ahead of Etienne, Jalen Warren going ahead of Etienne.
Warren?
Yeah. Isaiah Pacheco going ahead of Etienne.
They got a worse line. What are we doing here? That's
so again.
Pacheco's valid though.
No, but, not with Kareem Hunt still there. We saw what that looked like last year.
He's the RB1.
Pacheco
was injured. That's a whole other video.
They don't even run the ball in the red zone. So what are we talking about?
He was injured.
I'm not talking about him specifically. Even Hunt had to fight for touches in the red zone when running the ball. So again, maybe he's part of your buy low as well. But for ETN to fall from practically a top 10 running back pick to running back 32 off the board on most platforms in the span of a year.
Yeah, that's what got me
sick.
And
we're acting like it's not injury.
He went from top 5.
That led to a lot of the issues he had last year.
It was a multitude of things. So it's like, I didn't watch every game. The games I did, he just looks unmotivated. He don't he got that same burst, and that's a lot of not only the physical aspect of the game, but the mental as well. If things are shitty in the office, in the locker room, the energy's down, you're not gonna see that energy, for example, that the Giants have shown at times. So we know they're a bad team. They're not the best organization. Or even another example, the Cardinals. Yeah. But the way those boys are playing on the field, everyone's happy to be there. They're playing like a team. They're playing together. And you got the best version of a shittier team, but that shows promise in the future. To where it's with the Cardinals this year, I think they're gonna be a better team than last year. That's nah. And that's not a bad take. Now with the Jags, are they?
I think so. I think at least in division.
Think so.
We got a Carolina team, not Carolina. We got a Houston team. That offensive line got worse. But they have
got worse.
They have a pretty solid defense, but the offensive line got terrible. And our defense should be better, especially up front and in the secondary a little bit. And then you look at Indy, which no shade to Anthony Richardson, but he just got hurt in the preseason game. We might be playing Daniel Jones, right? We're in the mix. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. We're in the mix in the AFC South, and we get to play all those teams twice. We got a rookie quarterback in Cam, right? Which they're investing around him, but
I wouldn't talk too much about Cam Ward. I think he might surprise you.
Oh no, he's good. Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. I think he'll be good, but I mean, I don't know about winning the AFC South good. I think he'll be a solid player.
That boy's nice.
But if we're talking about divisions, I don't think there's much divisions worse than the AFC South right now. So we get to play the AFC South.
That's fair. Yeah.
6 times out of our games, right? So if we can figure some stuff out, if Etienne can show out a little bit, and again, Cohen had Baker Mayfield throwing for almost 5,000 yards every year, right? Like I believe that they know what they're doing on offense now a little bit more. I believe in the Brian Thomas Jr. led wide receiving core.
Wow.
I like it. I like it a lot, and I like a resurgence for Trevor Lawrence. So with all these things being said, I like an opportunity for Travis Etienne going as running back 32 on the board to give you more value than running back 32. That's all I'm saying. He's going way too low.
Yeah, no, you sold me. That's all I'm eating on my draft,
Yeah.
so you're not wrong.
If you're giving me the decision
I
between
really hope they
Jalen
were
Warren
right.
and Travis Etienne, especially with the depth chart being set what it is right now, because I think Pittsburgh offense is going to be bad. But if you give me that decision,
It won't be. Yeah. It won't be.
I'm taking Travis Etienne.
Caleb Johnson, for sure. Caleb Johnson. But yeah,
That's it.
okay. We can wrap this up then. And we got enough off the dome.
4 guys for you guys to target it later in your drafts. Buy low candidates, again, for redraft. Superflex, single quarterback, it doesn't matter. These guys' ADP are way too low. Go ahead into your drafts. Take these guys late. Again, we're not asking you to invest high-level picks. All these guys are fit past the 8th round in draft position, so just take a stab at these guys. That's all we're saying. And we'll catch y'all on the next episode of Kick and Post. We'll see you next time. Peace.